All right, so welcome to episode 5 of XXTV. My name is Joe Moore. I'm the CMO at Xtreme Experience. And today, the question of the day is, what's your favorite car? We get this question all the time, whether we're at the event talking to fellow drivers or we're just talking to somebody else out on the street and you tell them what you do and they go, oh my goodness, what's your favorite car? The first thing you're going to hear from almost anybody here at Xtreme Experience is that's a tough question to answer. I always like to equate it to choosing a best friend. You know, you've all your different best friends. Why do you love them? Why are they your friend? It's kind of hard to say. Each person serves a different role in your friendship. So it's the same thing with supercars. You know, I grew up with photos of a poster of a Lamborghini on my wall. I always talk about that. So here we've got 2 Lamborghinis behind me. Is this car my favorite? Well, I can't say it is actually because I barely fit in these cars. I'm almost 6'3" with a helmet on. I get behind the wheel and I gotta scrunch my head down, and while it's a really great car, it'll be the best car most people will ever drive in their life. It's this car in particular is just not my favorite because of the cramped style of it. All right, so now we're gonna walk over to 2 of my favorites. 430, amazing car. We got the GTR. This is one of the cars I actually learned how to drive on track in, so that will always have a nice place in my heart. But for me, it really comes down to these 2 cars, the Porsche Gt3 and the Lamborghini Huracan. The Porsche I actually had a pretty cool experience with the weekend I got engaged to my now wife, Hannah. We drove this to my lake house. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to break in a brand new engine on this car. So I put about 1,200 miles in a Porsche Gt3, fell in love with the car, got to drive it all over the city, on the highway, and now I've actually gotten a chance to track it quite a bit as well. So I have absolutely fallen head over heels in love with the Gt3. It's just an all-around great car. It's very comfortable. However, if you're driving on a highway for hours, it does start to get a bit loud with all the highway noise, and every crack in the highway, you get a little boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, and it starts to wear on your back a little bit. But it's epic. It just winds all the way up. You know, you put your foot to the floor, it keeps going and going and going. However, then there's this Lamborghini, and to me, this is what an exotic car should look like. And then there's the sound, the V10 that's behind your head. It's got a really cool feature. When you lift up the gas, it crackles. When you're downshifting, it just snarls and makes these really cool sounds. So I absolutely love this car, but all in all, at the end of the day, I do have to revert back to this Porsche because it's a track weapon. It's basically a race car. It, to me, is sexy. It's classic looking, and if I could have one of them in my driveway, I think I'd go with this GT3.
So one of my favorite cars in our fleet is the Porsche Gt3, especially our black one that we have over here is our Club Sport Edition. It comes with a half cage in it. I really love this car. One of the reasons I love it so much is the rear steer that it has. The rear steer really gets it to where it's very, very accurate with your turn in and track out. Being able to clip those apexes every time makes this car very consistent. It's also a very good car into braking. You'd think with the engine all the way in the back that it would be a little unstable. But that's actually something that they solved with this car. The rear brakes are actually bigger, and as you brake, the car almost squats more than pitches, preventing that pendulum action in the rear end. Overall grip is just phenomenal, and you know, of course, it sounds just amazing. Once again, it is one of the least powered cars in the fleet, so it comes down to real drivers who can make the best out of this car.
All right guys, I'm Rich Schumacher. I'm the marketing coordinator here. You've probably seen me on one of the episodes of XXTV before, and although I really like Lamborghini and I've always kind of had them as a you know, poster car on my wall, the 458 Italia has just always been one of my favorites. And the first time I had a chance to lock my hands around the steering wheel, it was just truly one of those, you know, out of body, you know, dreams coming to life types of scenarios for me. So the first time I drove it was at NOLA Motorsports Park, and it's just razor sharp. It's definitely an ultimate car. Anything that you've heard or think you can expect from the car, it's certainly there. Not only is the V8 behind you just screaming the entire time, but the steering, the balance, the poise, the braking on it, it is just unbelievable. So if I had to pick a car in the fleet to take home or even drive every day, it would definitely be the 458 Italia.
Hey guys, this is Mitch from Xtreme Experience. I'm our brand manager here, and I wanted to tell you about my favorite car in our fleet right now. Out of everything that I've driven on track, I gotta say that I would love to own a Porsche Gt3 once in my life. This is just by far the best car that I've ever driven. The rear wheel steering coming through a turn at low speeds definitely helps you turn in more. The acceleration on it, just the entire look and feel and how you are connected to the car is absolutely the best experience I've ever had. It's by far the most driver-oriented car, I think, out of our entire fleet. You don't get anything else as close to kind of feeling connected to the road, connected to feeling the power that it puts out. It's very responsive to the way that you drive and the way that you need to feel when you're in the car. It's just oriented around everything that you want to do. There's no lurching effect. There's nothing unpredictable that's going to happen. Every input that you put into the car is just you. So out of everything, this is by far the car. The dream is to have this thing right here. I think that's hands down. That's just it. There is nothing better than this.
Like I said, it's hard to pick favorites here. No matter which car you choose to drive or any of us here in the office drive, you're gonna have the best experience of your life. These cars blow anything you've ever driven out of the water. Whether it's your buddy's sports cars, or maybe you know someone who's got a muscle cars, and those are real fun. They're amazing. I've got a soft spot for muscle cars myself. But these exotic cars, there's just something about every single one of them. Whether you want to geek out over the technology of the GTR, or the seductive styling of this Lamborghini, or you want to track purpose-built our Mitsubishi Evo over there, that thing's fun too. No matter what you drive, you're gonna have the best experience of your life. So I encourage you to come out and try a taste of these different supercars, see what they're like. This Lamborghini is very different than that Lamborghini, which is very different than this Porsche, which is very different than the GTR. So it's like trying to pick a friend, like I said at the beginning. So that's all I'm going to say for this. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking. I could talk your ear off about cars all day. So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching episode 5. Be sure to check us out on Snapchat, check out behind the scenes, check out the Facebook page. We're going to start doing some fun Facebook Live stuff you can see behind the scenes. And follow us on Instagram, Xtreme Experience. And we'll see you next time.